Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Diego Castro. 6 suspects in the death of Adamson student John Matthew Salilig have surrendered to the Biñan police. One of them is the alleged leader of the group named Kim Patrick Benitez or Tung Cheng Teng Jr. The 6 were initially invited to give a statement on the case. But when they got to the police station, they were identified as suspects by the witness, who also underwent hazing along with Salilig back in February 18. 3 of those arrested are students of Adamson, while the other 3 are fraternity members of Tau Gama's Biñan chapter. The 6 suspects are facing charges in violation of the anti-torture law. President Marcos extends his condolences to the victims' family, assuring them that justice will be served. In a statement released on social media, Marcos said, "Violence is not the way to measure the strength of brotherhood." The chief executive added that there should be no room for violence in student organizations and schools. Meanwhile, Senator Win Gatchalian criticizes the government's implementation of the anti-hazing law. Speaking to the big story, Gatchalian said, "The country's anti-hazing law is among the toughest in the world." But despite this, he says law enforcement is not doing enough to implement the law to the fullest, citing 10 reported hazing cases since the law was enacted in 2018. The senator also noted that the conviction rate for crimes related to hazing has been quite low.
The law is already tough, it's comprehensive, but if you don't implement the law, nobody will respect government. And that's where we are right now. No? Government is not implementing the law to its fullest. We are not, the PNP is not apprehending the people who perpetuates hazing. At the same time, the conviction rate is also quite low. No? 10 cases after 2018. So meaning we are not convicting enough criminals who are embroiled in hazing.
The LTFRB has extended the deadline for the phase-out of traditional jeepneys. The board's chairman, Teofilo Guadis, said jeepney drivers and operators will have 6 more months or until December to consolidate. The initial June 30 deadline drew threats of a transport strike, but Guadis said the extension was not prompted by that.
There is no pressure for us for the strike because more than 90% of the transport groups have signified their support to the program of the LTFRB.
Tuloy na tuloy po ito, sir. Sa ating
Despite the extension, Transport Group Manibela said they are pushing through with a strike set next week. They are expecting around 100,000 jeepneys and other PUV units to join the week-long protest action across the country.
tuloy na tuloy po ito, sir. Sa ating pong mga kasamahan, wala pong bibitaw.
On Wednesday, no less than President Bongbong Marcos appealed to drivers and operators to rethink the strike. He said the PUV modernization program is necessary, but its implementation could still be improved.
Sa aking palagay, dapat ang pwedeng gawin ay inspeksyonin yung mga vehicles. Kahit luma, may luma naman na maganda pa rin eh. Just because 5 years old or 10 years old, hindi na pwede. Tignan natin yung kondisyon. Kung maganda mag-alaga yung driver, maganda yung jeep niya, di pwede pang gamitin yan, safe pa naman. I'm hoping na dito sa mga initiatives na iniisip natin, makakumbinsi naman natin ng mga transport groups na huwag na muna mag-strike dahil kawawa talaga ang tao at marami pang na naghihirap at hindi masalo pang maghihirap pag hindi makapasok sa trabaho.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here in One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Senator Amy Marcos expressed concern over the planned construction of EDCA sites in northern Luzon. One local official from northern Luzon also expressed fear that his province might get caught up in any conflict between the U.S. and its rival nations. Mian Los Baños with the details.
Senator Amy Marcos repeatedly questioned the Defense Department and AFP on reported plans to construct Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA sites in northern Luzon. Citing reports she obtained, the senator said the 4 EDCA sites will supposedly be constructed in Cagayan, Isabela, and Zambales. That is on top of 5 sites already in place in different parts of the country. Marcos suspects that the new EDCA sites are not really meant to defend our claims in the West Philippine Sea, but to help the U.S. in protecting Taiwan in their row with China.
Nagtataka rin po kami dahil kasi yung pagpili nitong mga sites, lahat nasa Northern Luzon. So, inaamin po ba natin na yung Taiwan ang siyang pakay, tinutukoy nito, at hindi yung deterrence sa West Philippine Sea at yung pagtatanggol ng lupain na Pilipino?
Though the DND has yet to confirm the locations of the new EDCA sites, former AFP Chief of Staff Bartolome Bacaro did say in an interview last year that these will be constructed in Cagayan, Zambales, Isabela, and Palawan. EDCA sites are used for military exercises and as training and logistics hub.
The 4 sites still on negotiation. We might change the locations depending on the agreement that we might having with the security sector.
The DND also denied that the EDCA sites have something to do with tensions in the Taiwan Strait.
We'll try to look at it at the comprehensive and strategic perspective of the whole territory that we have. The reason why we choose the northern part, there is the tendency of really our preparation really for disaster is very significant.
Marcos, meanwhile, also worries that EDCA sites might become a target of attacks, especially by U.S. rivals.
If you were the commander-in-chief of a country at war with the United States, wouldn't you attempt to cut off supplies and equipment of their army located here in the Philippines, in northern Luzon?
Military camp will always be a target for the adversary.
Diba nagpre-preposition ng Amerika kasi gusto nila umatake. Tayo naman ang madadali.
We are having that MDT purposely for defense. For defense, not for preparing for war.
Meanwhile, Cagayan Governor Manuel Mamba says he has not been informed of plans on the potential construction of EDCA sites in their province. Mamba clarifies they have no issue with Filipino soldiers training in Cagayan, but he's opposing the placing of EDCA facilities in the province, as he worries that they could get in between troubles of U.S. and other countries.
Pakiusap namin, no foreign forces in Cagayan. Yun lang po, para we will have sleepless nights. Pag ganyan po, kami po yung pinakamalapit. Tatamaan po kami kahit na anong mangyari.
Reporting for News 5, Mian Los Baños, we are One News.
Remains of the 4 victims of the Cessna plane crash in Albay are slowly being transported down to the base of Mayon volcano. As of last night, 1 victim's body has already been brought to the base camp. It took around 20 responders to bring down each of the victims' remains using a rope system. Bad weather conditions and the steep slopes of the mountain delayed the team's retrieval operations. Today marks the 13th day since the Cessna plane crashed near the crater of Mayon, causing the death of all 4 passengers. Kamalig Albay Mayor Carlos Irwin Baldo says the remains will be turned over to SOCO before being transferred to the PNP for further investigation. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has arrived in the Philippines on Wednesday for an official visit. Ibrahim met with President Bongbong Marcos for a bilateral meeting where the two discussed political, security, and economic cooperation, as well as people-to-people ties. The two leaders also exchanged views on regional and international issues. In a press briefer, Prime Minister Ibrahim pointed out the need not only to reaffirm the commitment to work together, but enhance Malaysia-Philippine relations. Anwar is the first head of government to visit the country under Marcos Jr.'s administration.
I believe and concur what you have expressed, the need to not only to affirm our commitment to work together, but to enhance Malaysia-Philippine relations. President Marcos Jr., let me assure you that the new administration in Malaysia will be more than happy to further enhance this collaboration.
And that's it for this hour. Join us again at 7:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register an account now at signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.